Hello students, let's read the problem. And it says, the graph of the parent function f of x equals x squared was reflected across the x-axis, translated 6 units to the right and 6 units down to get a new function. Which answer choice is the new function for g of x? Okay, so what are they asking us to do? Well, they want me to find a new function, right, for g of x given all those changes that happened earlier, right? So this is my parent function. Now, if you remember, parent function means that it goes through the origin, it's upward, right? And it looks something like that, okay? Since it was reflected across the x-axis, right? Reflected across the x-axis means that I need to have a negative somewhere, right? So we're gonna highlight this, okay? And I do know that I need to have a negative in my problem, okay? Now, what else happened? Well, it was translated 6 units to the right. Now, remember, if you are moving to the right or to the left, that means horizontally, right? Therefore, that movement will need to be inside the parentheses, okay? And remember that if it says that you're moving 6 units to the right, then in reality, when you have it on that parenthesis, it's gonna look something like the opposite. So the opposite of going to the right will be going to the left, okay? So I will need to have it inside the parentheses as x minus 6, okay? And what's the last thing that happened? Well, it says that it's going 4 units down, okay? Now remember, 4 units down is your vertical translation. This is the one that is either goes up or down. So if you go down, then I need to have a minus 4 at the end of my quadratic, right? So notice how A has the minus 4, B has the minus 4, and D has the minus 4. That's like the easiest to find, right? Not letter C. So we're going to cross out letter C, okay? Now, I am also looking for x minus 6, right? Well, A has x plus 6. Then that's out. Letter B has the x minus 6. Okay, now what is wrong with D? Well, D has the x minus 6, but it has the second power, right? And anytime that you are using the function notation, we do not need to raise it to the second power, okay? And both B and D, they both have the negative in the front. You see that negative in the front? So that's the only difference that I see on the problem. Is that right? So the answer for this should be letter B. So one of the things that I'm going to recommend you is make sure that you know your movements, what's happening on that equation. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite it over here. And I'm going to remind you what we said earlier. Remember, this number that is outside is the one that is your vertical transformation or translation, right? The number that is inside the parentheses is going to be your horizontal transformation or translation, right? And if I do see a negative outside, in this case there is a negative, that means that it's going to be a reflection, okay? And this one is across the x-axis. So it's very important that you identify all these key terms on the problem, okay? Good.